Welcome back. It's been a long time since I've shared my English lessons, but I make these every week. So I want to just go ahead and I'm just going to go through it. Again, remember, these English lessons are actually for a one on one lesson. There's a lot of student talk time that is really important, but I still think it could be advantageous to go ahead and go through this. And I'm going to go through all of my slides. I'll go through them quickly, but at any time you can pause and do the activities. Uh, Now, I actually have two levels, and one is a little easier. So we'll start with the easy one and then we'll build up. So if you want that extra level, um, and these are like at maybe an IELTS 600 and an IELTS 850 or so on the second one. So this one's like a 5 to 600 here. So I'm gonna just read it and then as you can see, all the blue words, which are all verbs. Now, keep in mind, I'll keep it in the dictionary form. So, attempt, perform, balance, increase, and confirm all match to one of these words, while crowd, celebration, performance, routine, which are all nouns, uh, match to the other ones. A dancer in a Mediterranean country amazed a crowd during a local celebration by attempting to break a world record. He performed a traditional dance known as the Dance of the Glasses while balancing a large number of wine glasses on his head. The performance took place during an Easter event, and the number of glasses increased throughout the routine. In total, he balanced 468 glasses on his head as he danced. If confirmed, this would be a new world record. So again, you can do some of these. You can pause. I'm going to show you the answers, but I will talk a little bit about uh, some of what we can do here. So uh, we'll do the red first. Crowd is actually the first one. A group of people gathered in one place. Now, celebration and performance. I intentionally use words that are similar. If you're just trying to move quickly, you might choose the wrong one. Celebration is going to be a fun activity held in honor of something, while the performance is an event or activity meant to entertain an audience. And that leaves us with a routine, which is a series of actions regularly followed or repeated. And one of the activities I have my students tell me their morning routine. And then if there's any problem, I'll tell you my morning routine. When I was a student, wake up, punch the alarm a couple times, snooze alarm goes off, wait 5 minutes or so, and it goes off again, then run to the bathroom, put cold water on my face, grab something to eat, and run out the door because I always want to get as much sleep as possible. And then I said in university, when people ask me what I want to do, because I had my degree in philosophy, and they're like, What are you going to do with that?" And I said, "Never set my alarm again." And I never did. So that's my style. I mean, I have for events, but now we're going to go on to this one. And we've learned all the words, right? We didn't do the other ones, did we? So we've got attempt. Again, we're just going to use the dictionary form of the word. I'm going to use attempt is to try. Perform is to show or present. Balance is to keep things steady. Increase is to make something grow or become greater, and to confirm is to approve or verify. And now, see, I don't do these guys. Clear the screen. Now we use all those words. So go ahead. You can pause it. I'm going to just go through them quickly if you want to do these ones. Um, the doctor will confirm the diagnosis with a blood test. She had to balance both work and family responsibilities. We need to increase production if we want to meet demand, and he will attempt to finish the race despite the energy, and the magician will perform his new trick on stage tonight. Now, those are the best answers. There are always possible times. I mean, could you say he will perform? No, he will balance. He will increase. There might be words we need to confirm production. I mean, There's words it's grammatically true, but it's not. These are definitely I actually work hard to not have words that can be used, but sometimes there are. This is definitely the best answers, for all of them to work out, even if you might be able to fit one word in, another place. The next one, are gonna be these ones, which are nouns. These are all nouns. Again, because they're all the same part of speech, grammatically, they could work sometimes. But we're gonna say, "The crowd cheered loudly as, the singer walked on stage. After months of practice, the dancers perfected their" well, yeah, routine would actually be good there, to tell you the truth. I just caught that right now. It's performance, but if you did them all, you'd realize that, it wouldn't make sense to say she followed her morning performance. So this is routine. And the town held a huge celebration, is the correct one there. Now, here's the more advanced one. That was the easy one. Uh, essentially the same story, though. Here we go. During an Easter celebration in a Mediterranean country, a local dancer stunned a crowd by attempting to break a world record performing the traditional dance of glasses. He balanced dozens of wine glasses on his head while moving gracefully to rhythmic music. As the performance continued, the number of glasses steadily increased, heightening the suspense. By the end of the routine, he was supporting 468 glasses, astonishing the audience with his precision and control. If officially confirmed, his performance would mark a new world record, blending cultural tradition with extraordinary physical skill. Now, again, words are like shock and amaze are actually quite similar, but the word stun, and I give examples like a stun gun is when you shoot somebody, they're frozen, right? To stun is definitely to be more frozen. Definitely could use amaze or shock in replacement for this, and it would make sense. But stun is shock, just so you know. And heighten is to intensify or increase, right? Height, think of height as tall. Heighten is to make taller, but it's not for physical things. You heighten awareness, heighten attention, heighten suspense, heighten the feelings that you have, rather than um, actually heightening. I mean, you could actually say if you were to make something taller, it would make sense. If you were working like with clay and you were height, it would make sense to use it, but it's usually not for physical objects. The last word being the last two words we have astonish, and astonish is going to be more like amaze. Again, those are going to be your hard ones to notice the difference between astonish and stun, but they are different. Blending or to blend is to combine. So now we'll move to the verb. Oh no, actually no. These are nouns, but there's also an adjective in there. I do that. I mean, you should be able to recognize right away, even if you have no idea what the word means. When you see nouns, abstract nouns are going to be, they start out with a state of or the quality of. So those are the nouns, and having something is going to be an adjective that describes something. So right away we could tell that rhythmic is going to be the adjective. And if you know what rhythm means, rhythm being the noun, it's a beat, a pattern, right? To have rhythmic, to have a rhythm is to be rhythmic. It's an adjective there describing the music, rhythmic music, rhythmic dances. And then so we have suspense and precision. Precision comes from the word precise, and suspense, suspenseful. Um, the quality of uncertainty and anticipation is suspense. A suspenseful movie it puts you on the edge of your seat, while precision is to be precise or exact, very accurate. Now, the last one here is are these adverbs. We have gracefully and steadily. Gracefully is smooth and elegant, la 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 la, and steadily is constant, kind of reliable to be steadily happen. So we'll go ahead and take a look at our exercise here. We have astonish, blend, heighten, and stun. Again, I worked my best to put what I decide again, astonish and stun though probably could interchange. So let's do the other two first and say the magician's final trick managed to well actually no that's one of those. The chef tried to blend several exotic spices to create a new floor, and loud thunder during the night seem to heighten the tension. That has to be heighten. You're not going to heighten the students or heighten exotic spices. Um, those there. Now these ones, which one? Think about it. Astonish and stun. Remember, stun is to be like frozen. Astonished is to be amazed. There's definitely some crossover. There are many situations where stun and astonish could be used to almost portray the same event. But the way I wrote this was the magician's final tricks managed to astonish even the most skeptical audience. I don't see the audience frozen. Oh, yeah, they're still gonna clap. That's not stunned. You're not gonna clap if you're stunned. You're just gonna be like shocked, in amaze, in awe. So those are slightly different. At the same time, the announcement was enough to stun the students in their seats, kind of stun them in their seats. Boom, like they're frozen. Could be astonished. But that was my reasoning behind it. Up to you if how you want to do that. Now, um, now we're gonna take a look at these ones here. We've got precision, rhythmic, and suspense. Again, just like a movie, I mentioned the movie keeps you on the edge of your seat. That is suspenseful, and precision is uh, not there. That's not what I meant to do. Suspense is there. The novel built up so much suspense that I couldn't stop turning the pages, right? And the surgeon operated with such precision, right? A surgeon is somebody who cuts open bodies. They better be pretty precise. Uh, and then the dancer's rhythmic movements. Again, to recognize this one is an adjective and the other two are nouns should make it a lot easier. Um, I should have actually made that rhythm to avoid that. Usually I do, but I didn't this time. You're gonna have to deal with that, and that's okay. Um, gracefully and steadily. Again, we're talking adverbs, we're talking grammar. You could put either one in either place and it be grammatically correct, but there's no way you could make an argument that the better of the two is steadily. The heavy rain steadily fell steadily through the night. Again, the focus here was heavy rain. That's going to be it's not going to be graceful. Rain can be graceful. I'm not saying heavy rain couldn't ever be graceful. I'm a technical person, so I probably am over analyzing it, and most people would agree with me. But I like technicalities, and I like somebody trying to argue. Oh, heavy rain is. I love the sound of heavy rain. Just the way it sounds. It's beautiful. It's rhythmic. It's graceful. Again, to me, it's not graceful. It is rhythmic, and it is mesmerizing. It is hypnotic, and it does put me to sleep. But something like an elegant swan. I mean, how more graceful could you be, right? So look at the elegant swan swimming so gracefully. All right, so uh, I have the video. Am I allowed to show these? I know this is from YouTube, and it's up in my Google Slides. I think I'm allowed to do that. Um, so let's. I'm gonna just play it in here. So he's doing the dances, and he's holding it on his head, and as he goes, uh, it gets more and more glasses, as you can see. Now I think he actually has to have. I think he actually has to have certain dance moves. As we read it, right? He said he had to be confirmed. I think he's not just balancing these uh, on his head, but that he has to do certain moves. It's not confirmed yet whether he did it or not. Uh, See, he's doing these steps, he's doing these moves, and eventually he does drop it. But I think he actually did it. I think he did it. What did the dancer try to do? I have two examples for both versions of the easy and the hard, and just you don't have to remember the exact way, but those are all your vocabulary. Let's try to retell the story. If you had that easier version, here's the more advanced version. Tell me the story using those words, and then ask you this question: where did the event take place? Mediterranean country. For a lot of people that my students from China, they might not know exactly what the Mediterranean uh, Sea is. So I made sure that they knew which one is. It has a different word in Chinese. They do know what the Black Sea is. Actually, I found that out. Black Sea, Red Sea, and Yellow Sea are all the same in Chinese. I'm interested. What about your language? Are those like, is the Red Sea, Black Sea, and Yellow Sea just kind of all in every language. It's like that in Thai as well. So I'm wondering about that, if all the C's that are colors are the same across languages. Now, Mediterranean Sea, of course, if it's a Mediterranean country, it could be Africa, Asia, or Europe. Very amazing area. Um, the Baltic region is this, the Baltic states. North Sea is in England. The Black Sea is right there. Of course, the Black Sea, very important for trade because you're able to get through Istanbul into the Mediterranean Sea. You can go through the Suez Canal to Asia, through the Gibraltar Strait. All of these areas, of course, Ukraine better hold on to Odessa or they're going to be a landlocked country. A lot of geopolitical importance on trade routes that we're talking about, and we're going to move on. Speaking of trade routes, again, when you pass through the Suez Canal, what is this one called? What are these two bays or gulfs? I call them seas, but they're all different areas. And then this final one, if you know what a strait is, you can figure that is the strait. Again, these straits it's a canal if it's kind of man-made, land cut, but and this is almost as skinny as a canal, going through Malaysia. And what we also have here is the Red Sea. Which one is the Red Sea? A is the Red Sea, and there's a red algae in it that makes the sea actually look red. That's an interesting fact. This one is the Persian Gulf. Of course, the Persian Empire stretched from Turkey, into India, and that's still remained its name, Persian Gulf. This is the Bay of Bengal, and this is the Strait of Malacca. And the last one, which my students should have done better from China, but they didn't all. This one is called the Sea of Japan. This is called the Yellow Sea. Again, Yellow Sea in across languages. Tell me if it's different in your language or it's the same. B is East China Sea, and A is South China Sea. I say it's funny for I know the South China Sea is a lot of disputes, and it's actually from Thailand. We're actually in a nice location because we don't have the. They've talked about making a canal there, which would just make it a tension, more tension. So I don't even think we want it. But if you call it the South China Sea, it almost makes it Chinese waters. A lot of claiming different people claim different waters. I like sparking some discussion about that. I think it's interesting. Um, and we're going to go. Here's the riddles. The riddles that have to do with that portion of the lesson. I love to dance and twist and prance. I shake my tail as I sail. Wingless, I fly into the sky. What am I? It's something that you play with. It's a real thing. It's a physical thing. Many riddles are abstract nouns, but this one is a real one. This one is something you might play on a windy day. A windy day in a park, a kite. That is the answer. Now, what about this one? This one's more abstract. No legs, although it's a physical thing. No legs have I to dance. No lungs have I to breathe. No life have I to live or die. And yet I do all three. What am I? Now, by dance, I just mean move freely. And by breathe, I mean consume oxygen. And by live or die, I mean can start up and go out. And the answer is fire. And then, talking about balance, we learned the word balance today for the easier lesson. This is fun. It's a logic puzzle. I like logic puzzles because it forces you to explain yourself. So don't just think, if you're doing this as an English lesson, don't just think about it in your native language. Try to think about it and express yourself. Explain the process, right? You have 8 identical looking balls. One is slightly heavier, but you can't tell by hand. It's just whatever. They're a kilogram each, and one is 1.01 kilogram. You're not going to be able to recognize it with your sensitivity, but you do have this balance skill, but you can only use it twice. How do you find out the heavy ball? And it doesn't take that long to figure it out. Sometimes people say 4 and 4, but soon you realize that that's going to eliminate 4, and then you put 2 and 2, and you're only going to narrow it down to 2. But you need to know with absolute certainty which ball is the heaviest ball. So if we had, we'd number them. We'd say put 1, 2, 3 on this side, and then 3, 4, 5 on this side. If they're perfectly even, then your second one, you just put the last 2 balls, and whatever one's heavier is heavier. If they're not even, then you'll be left with 3 balls. If this side was heavier, one of those balls are heaviest. Take any 2, put them in. If it's even, then it's the one that's not on the scale. If it's not even, then the one that goes down is the heavier one. Again, I'm looking for the ability to explain that in English. It's kind of difficult for even my advanced students to actually put that into words. And sometimes I feel bad, like uh, I, I know they get it. They get the logic of it, and they can express it in their native language, but it's difficult sometimes to express these concepts. So we're gonna go to the next amazing story here. And this one is, I just have one version, but I do have scaffolding events for lesser level students and higher level students. Williams has a unique, and his actually name is like four names: Williams, Sanchez, Javier, Lopez, or something. And but we just made it easy for that. Williams has a unique skill that you don't see every day. He says it started when he was around 8 or 9 years old. It became a game between himself and other kids that he could move the upper and lower muscles around his eyes. Over time, he perfected this skill until he was able to move his entire eye completely out of its socket. The surprise reaction is his favorite part. Williams thinks it's hilarious, and he shows off his skills, and the person has no clue that they're about to witness. He says the moment he pops out his eyeball, people jump back in shock and immediately ask him to do it again, describing himself as someone who enjoys having fun and making people laugh. Williams says that being able to pop out his eyes gives him a truly unique outlook on life. This record breaking eye pop measures an incredible 19 millimeters. I don't know, is this, my picture's probably covering it, 19 millimeters. And even if someone eventually breaks his record, he says the experience itself has been amazing. Now, again, let's go ahead and match these words. So we have again. Now these are interesting. They're specific. The word unique specifically means something. Even though you could interchange this with incredible, you're not going to be able to change incredible with unique. They are different. So just because sometimes you can kind of pick or choose a word and either one is pretty much going to have the same effect, it's important to know the meaning of the word. The meaning of unique is one of a kind. And the meaning of hilarious is very funny. And the meaning of incredible is extraordinary, which is literally extraordinary, beyond ordinary. Now, let's look at the socket. Socket is uh, an opening that something fits into. A reaction is the way you react to something, right? It's your sudden response. And an outlook for the future usually is an attitude towards future events. And then we have our adverbs. We have completely, immediately, truly, and eventually. Completely is totally. Immediately is without delay. Truly is sincerely. And eventually is in the end. Now, let's go ahead and yeah. So I do like to just show this. This is plug and socket as well. The different, right? We see this is an eye socket. Those are sockets too. You could call that an outlet as well, but those are different uh, ways that the word socket might come up. And like in Chinese, I know eye socket and plug and socket are different words. So it's good to understand in English how maybe a word, oh, I have a different word in my language. We don't use socket for both of those things. Those are completely different, and that's reasonable. So it's good to know. Oh, hey, I can learn one word and use it in two different places. So here we go. Hilarious, incredible, and unique. Now, actually, I made special ways that there is only one word way you can do this because I put the "and" there. Although there might be Irish people that say "and hilarious," right? They might make the H silent. I know they do with like certain words that I don't know. I've heard them. Um, anyway, so a hilarious. It was an so it has to be just grammatically. It has to be incredible. Unique begins with a vowel, but it's not a vowel sound. A U, right? So it's not. Again, yeah. Some people might be able to do that, but and in that case, hilarious could be in there, but incredible here. The comedian's performance, though, but look for those cues. I put the cues here on purpose, not to be technical, just to help identify. Never seen anything like it before, right? So comedians, obviously, that's gonna be funny, hilarious, unique. is going to be. I've never seen something like that before. So that's the logic behind that. And the next one. So did I already do these? Did I skip one? Oh no, here it is. Um, so my adverbs here again. Grammatically, you could put more than one in one place, but this is going to be. I truly appreciate your help with the project. He finished the book eventually, although it took many years. Again, if I didn't put that, although it took many years, you might want to put completely. But because I put that there, that should get you to put eventually there. She was completely exhausted. You're not going to be immediately exhausted after the marathon because you probably were exhausted, halfway through it. The fire alarm rang, and we had to evacuate the building immediately. And Outlook reaction and socket. The technician plugged the lamp into the nearest socket. Again, it could be an outlet, but not Outlook. Outlet is another name for socket. Socket is what we learned today, so let's focus on that. Her optimistic outlook, right? Looking towards the future. Her optimistic outlook helped her stay calm during the tough times. His reaction to the surprising news was one of pure excitement. Um, so as we continue down here, we've got some true or false questions. Williams learned to pop his eyes out by watching online videos. That is false. He enjoys doing the trick even more when people don't expect it. Is true. Williams describes himself as a serious and private person. That's not true at all. That's false. He said something about you know being uh, joking, liking to joke and stuff. His ability gives him what he calls a simple outlook on life. Most of my students here said true because it looked familiar, outlook on life, but the word wasn't simple. What is the word? And I like to do a little practicing, skim it and scan. I give you 7 seconds to find out what is his ability gives him what kind of outlook on life. So we'll start it at 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the answer is unique, right? A unique outlook on life. Um, and his record-breaking eye pop was officially measured. Yes, it was. Our first, the first one, that wasn't officially the record. The man with balancing the glasses, that wasn't official. Sometimes they do it. They send in their uh the videos and different uh whatever all the items they need to show that they've broke the record, and people have to verify it. At what age did Williams begin developing his unique skill? 8 or 9. What reaction does Williams enjoy most from people who see his skill? Shock, and when they want to see it immediately again after that. How far can William pop his eyeballs out? It's 19 centimeters. What does Williams say about if somebody breaks his record? He says it's okay. I enjoyed the experience anyway, and we can watch it. Let's go ahead and watch this. All right, so oh, nice. All right. Anyway, I cut that off a little bit, but And there's some more advanced questions for the same ones, but we're gonna actually just run it up. I've got some activities. If you want, you can pause it, try to put in those words that we learned, put those words back in their spot. There are the adjectives, adverbs, and nouns broken up for you. And we're gonna go straight to my favorite part here. I'm gonna uh, actually have to move this guy. How am I gonna get this? Oh, there. I'm gonna have to move my face over here. Uh, Open me and you can't see me without a mirror. Close me and you can't see me at all. What am I? It has to do with this lesson that we had today. It is eyes, right? Open your eyes. You can't see me without a mirror. And close me and you can't see me at all. Here's my sweet little cat. And this one, next one is what has 6 faces but no hair and 21 eyes but cannot see? Think about this one. I like to give clues. I'll say, okay, start with the first part. What has 6 faces but no hair? What has faces? It's obviously, maybe it's something that's not alive. It's not a head. It's a face. Clock has a face, but that's only one. Oh, geometrical shapes have faces. Which shape has 6 sides or 6 faces? Right? A cube. Right? A cube is has 6 faces. Okay, and it doesn't have hair, but now, what about these 21 eyes that can't see? Okay, they can't see, so they just look like eyes. They're dots, maybe. Now, give a clue. Okay, what about 21? What has 21? What is 21? Is 21 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6? And yes, it is. And then I'll sit here and I'll just kind of throw my die up in the air. And then I talk about how a die, this is actually called a die. Many people will say a dice, roll the dice. And they're referring to a single die because I don't know, maybe we just don't like to say die, but actually the word die, it's spelled D-I-E. Usually you have more than one, so it's dice, a pair of dice. The plural for die is dice. Uh, Technically, if you just have one, it is called a die, but it's almost acceptable to just call it a dice. Kind of like data, right? Data is actually the plural for datum, but it's like you often hear people say data is, or this is the data when really it should be these are the data. But anyway, last one again. It's easy enough, but really good example to not just solve it, but be able to express yourself. Right? You have 3 wall sockets, red, blue, and green. And again, using plug and socket, the words we've learned here. In front of you are 3 plugs, each colored red, blue, and green. However, none of the plugs are currently matched with their current or with their correct socket. You're allowed to plug in just one of the plugs and see which socket it powers. Now, I will say so at the at the end of the plug, we'll say there's some sort of light. If you plug it in the right one, it'll light up. Only one socket per plug will make the light up, and you can only do one try. Now, the main clue is just to realize that it tells you that none of the plugs are currently matched with their current socket. So red does not go with red, blue does not go with blue, green does not go with blue. You can just pick one that doesn't match. Put the red in the blue. If red, and then this is what I want you to be able to express in easy, simple terms. Plug the red one into the blue socket. If the light turns on, we know it's correct. So we can put the green in the red because we know the green can't go in the green and the blue has to be in the green. If at first I put the red in the blue and it actually didn't light up, I know that's incorrect, but I still know it can't be the red. So I would know that red would have to be in green, and therefore the blue would be in red and the green would be in blue. However you want to say it, however you want to do it. I hope you enjoyed a lesson I hadn't done in a long time. I create these every week, and if I've got some extra time, I'll just do it like this and post them. Won't do it every week though. Only when I get around to it. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.